Welcome to the Arizona Pickleball League podcast, presented by Jigsaw Health. And now, your hosts, Danny Jensen and the Orchard Security Guy.
What's up, Arizona Pickleball family? It is your host, Danny Jensen. We are joined today with OSG and perhaps the biggest influencer in pickleball right now, TPG, that pickleball guy. So, OSG, my goal today is to put Kyle in such a hot seat that he will cry.
It looks like you have some tough questions right there for him. Sorry I was a little late this morning. I was doing a debrief with my team. We're a week out, and we had to get some things covered. I don't know if you guys know about, have you ever seen Bodyguard? It's with Whitney Houston.
I have not, have you?
Kevin Costner.
I've never seen it. Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I'm
I'm honestly going to be honest. I'm not really a big movie guy.
Okay. Well, they have one of the most intimidating guard dogs in that movie of all time called Foster. And Foster's dad, his dad's dad, is the lineage that I have for my two new security dogs that will be at all Tuesday night pickleballs. So we went over some things, just the door checks, nets, drugs, all the things. Be ready for next week. And these dogs, you know, they understand 5 different languages for commands. So I think we're going to be good to go by next week.
It sounds like we're good to go. Kyle, how are you feeling about being a week out?
Well, I'm good to go. I listened to the first episode of this podcast, which got me fired up for the first week. I actually have 2 things. Number one, I think we need a new host, Danny. I listened to you talk, and it was disastrous.
Yeah,
it
happens sometimes.
It's embarrassing to the sport. You talked about beef that we had, which I wanted to unpack at some level.
We'll unpack it, don't you worry.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, but in all honesty, I'm super excited for next Tuesday. It's going to be an unbelievable environment. I love pickleball. Everyone who's playing loves pickleball. The fans love pickleball. And what Patrick, Ashley, and the team are putting together here at the Orchard is unique and different to really anything in pickleball right now. And I'm excited to be a part of the first match.
Very, very true. And looking forward, you know, we're a week out, almost exactly. It's Tuesday today. And right now, the Orchard looks a bit different than what it will when we have fans in there, all that kind of stuff. Talk to us right now, Kyle, about your goals for the first week of Tuesday Night Pickleball. What for you personally?
Well, I mean, there's really two things I operate by in my life, and it's compete hard at things and have the most fun possible. And I love my team, Dana, Cimarron, and Craig. And you know, we played in the kind of the inaugural experiment of what this is going to be. And so we have already had a little bit of experience on the court, and we've had a practice. We're going to practice today, the day we're filming this, obviously on Tuesday, the week before. But what do I expect of myself? I expect us to compete really hard and to play well and to bring encouragement to my teammates, to hit a lot of Ernies. I know if I get lobbed to crush a ball in somebody's chest. I mean, the usual stuff.
Usual stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely. So we know, Kyle, well, we know kind of who you are, but the Arizona Pickleball family that's listening to the podcast wants to know a little bit more about that pickleball guy. How did it start? Where did it originate from? Give us maybe a minute of just like how you got there.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's funny to have these dates written down, but August 17th, 2021 was the first time I ever played pickleball.
Mine was June 30th.
June 30th, okay.
So I have that date written down as well.
Our friend Zach Silvernail was there. I played with him in like the first 5 minutes of my pickleball life.
Awesome.
Met you pretty soon after. So August 17th, first time I ever played. December 11th, 2021 was the day. And if you go to my Instagram account and you scroll all the way to the very, very bottom, the very first post I ever said, today's the day I begin a journey to pro pickleball. And so that was the day I committed. to try to go pro in pickleball in 12 months from that day. And I think I essentially did that in 12 months. And so I kind of changed my day-to-day, which was a lot of pickup basketball. It was a lot of weightlifting. Obviously, I'm huge. And so but now I'm not actually, so it doesn't look like that anymore. But Good thing
OSG is not on the same plan as you, because I don't think you'd be as protective over the orchard and everything here if you were as small as Kyle.
It would be difficult. But you're fast.
I'm fast. And
speed kills.
Listen, when I was in college, I was a doorman, a bouncer, if you will, at a downtown Orlando bar, and I was one of the most intimidating people that existed in that bar, as a quick aside. But yeah, so basically on December 11th, I committed to, let me see if I can go pro. I was playing a lot. I was playing with better players. I was watching it on YouTube. I was like, kind of like a lot of people, I was like, this looks like it's possible. Like, for me to go to the NBA, which basketball is my background, I was like, that is impossible right now. Like, Steph Curry and me are moons apart. But then I'm like, well, pro pickleball players and me, for where I was at that point, still a really far way apart. We weren't close. But if we're 10 moons apart, me and Steph Curry, I thought we were like 3 or 4 in pickleball. So I decided, let me see if I can go after it. And I did. I started training, drilling, playing games with the best players I could.
You put a court at your house?
In March of 2022, I moved to a new house that has a huge backyard. In May of 2022, I built a court in my backyard, which helped with a lot of the content, helped me train. And now it's become my full-time job, which is making content full-time and training full-time. And I'm playing a full tournament schedule this year. And so that's kind of where I started, just started having fun like everybody, got hooked, got so obsessed to the point where today it's like, yesterday I did like 14 hours of pickleball.
I love that.
And when I woke up, I was thinking about third shot drops. And when I went to sleep, I was like, man, if I can get a little more spin on that cross court drop, I'll get a pop up so Craig can just smash the ball into Pace's chest during Tuesday Night Pickleball. And so that was what was on my mind last night.
I love that. Yeah. So then let's talk about so we did like a little bit short term, a little bit background, talk about long term. I know personally you have a goal of possibly being the best player in the world at some point. Tell me, is that something that you're shooting for? And how does this step with Arizona Pickleball League lead into that journey with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously we're doing this documentary as a part of this whole league. And so yesterday we were sitting down in an interview, and Cole and Ryan were asking some questions. And one of the questions they asked was similar. It was like, where do you want to be with this? And it felt weird to say, and I got chills, and I was saying it out loud because it's a very scary thing. But yeah, I want to be the best pickleball player in the world. Which even every time I say it, I'm like, that's stupid. I'm scared to say it because when you have a big, audacious goal, people will hear that and be like, that's stupid. Because it's like, no, you're going to be the best. Like right now, Ben Johns is the best player in the world. How are you going to be Ben? You know those things. And so
absolutely.
Anything in life, like you played soccer at a really high level, right? And I played Division I basketball. To play Division I basketball, if you go look at the NCAA stats, there's about 500,000 guys and about 500,000 girls who play Division I basketball, who play college basketball. Mm-hmm. 500,000 to 500,000 who play high school basketball across the country. Okay. Less than 1% of those 500,000 guys will play Division I basketball. About 5% will go on and play like Division I and NCAA. There's a bunch of leagues, right? There's NAIA, about 5% total. But less than 1% will go on and play Division I. And that was my dream when I was a high schooler, was to go play Division I basketball, like I think it was for you to play Division I soccer.
Absolutely.
And I did that, and I worked my butt off to do it. I had a very sole goal of accomplishing that. And I remember the day that coach walked in from Louisiana Monroe and was like, we're going to offer you a full scholarship. And I was like, it's the years of work. Anytime you accomplish something like that, it's the years of work. So to make a long story longer, I was in this less than 1% category. And so it doesn't really matter to me what other people think about that goal, but my daily behaviors are aligning with that big goal, which is I'm training, trying to be that thing, that best player.
I completely understand. And I'd argue that you might be one of the only people more obsessed with pickleball than myself.
There's no question that I am more obsessed with it than you.
It's possible.
There's no question. The other person that might be more obsessed than both of us is my teammate, Craig Johnson. Craig.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know if anybody... Craig will shoot me... I played with Craig yesterday.
Yeah.
And we finished. And we talked for 45 minutes debriefing the game. It was like we played with Caden, Nemov, and Victor, and we played this match, and we talked about like everything that happened in the day. What worked for us? Where did we win points? Where did we lose points? How did we work together? I'm playing more the right side. He's playing more the left side. What happened when we went to the other side and I was playing the left and he was playing the right? You know, what happened on a missed ball in a scramble situation? All these different things. We're breaking it down. Like this, we love pickleball, right?
Yeah.
And he leaves. 15 minutes later, he calls me.
Yeah, that is Craig Johnson.
He goes, hey, Kyle. I was like, what's up, Craig? He goes, I just love pickleball. And I'm like, yeah, I freaking love pickleball.
What paddle did he play with yesterday?
He played with the Black Ace, the pro.
Okay, so he's playing.
Okay. And we talked about pickleball for another hour, and we just kind of rehashed everything in more depth than we had just talked about 20 minutes ago. So that's how much we love pickleball.
So does this align with kind of your journey into security guard action as well?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned on your court, Kyle. I haven't been over there to check it. We're obviously 34 inches in the middle, 36 on the edges, but
right.
one
44
of the things,
by 20, all that.
Yeah, and one of the things I really check is about 3/4 of a way, or maybe halfway between the middle of the court and the post. 34 and maybe 3/4 or 7/8 is. I mean, are you on the standards of the exact measurements?
No,
of your court.
It's a good question, and I know the Orchard has you. Involved in everything here, and I know you're expensive, so I hired a different team in the meantime until I can afford you. So I hired a different team. They come by every morning at 6 a.m. They check the lines to make sure they're the right width. They check the 44 by 20. The net's 12 inches from the sideline. There's 34 in the middle, 36 on the outside. My paddles are in the right spot. I got 62 balls in the bin, and so everything is it's good. But as you guys know, it can be great.
I will say, there is one thing you have to check at Kyle's house. It's his door. That door is perfect, and your door is not perfect.
It's true. I have a sliding glass door that goes from my living room to my back patio. It's right next to the court, and I've had so much focus on the court that the door is kind of broken. So for the last 3 months, 4 months, nobody and Cole and Ryan, who were over doing the documentary yesterday, like they tried to open it, and I just watched them struggle. And they tried to close it, and I just watched them struggle, because in life you have to learn through. There's a great term, tripping over the truth in life. You just kind of have to experience it for yourself instead of being told. And so I just let them trip over the truth.
Very, very kind of you. Kind of you to let your guests learn that way.
Right.
I'm impressed. Okay, so let's talk Arizona Pickleball League for a few minutes. You were part of the first exhibition, as you had previously mentioned. You got to experience the different ways of how we use the clock here, the quarter system, as well as the scoring system in general. Give us your first impressions on that, and then how it affected your game.
It's creative, and it's cool. And I listened to the first episode of this podcast, and I was listening to Patrick talk about the 4-quarter method, and I've been really involved in watching MLP develop in the team format, and I've been in a lot of conversations about what's best for TV. And I thought Patrick made a great point, just as holistically, which is what's great for TV is they need to know how much time you're going to have the slot. And so every other sport, and Patrick named them, you got football, basketball, soccer, they're time based, and so it's cool and it's so different. But what I love is I'm one of the people that actually really think rally scoring is an interesting way to play. I lean toward the side out scoring. It's a different strategy. I think it's to me it's a little more fun. In it you can't quite rally scoring allows for the worst team to stay in it more, and this doesn't. So the idea of the combination of 4 quarters and keeping side out scoring is really creative. So how did that impact me? I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, it feels very similar. You're playing side out scoring, how you know how to play. Now, just it means a little more because you're not going to be on the court for the next quarter, and so you got to set your teammates up for success. And then vice versa as you come back on the court later. So in general, super creative. It's a super fun way to do it. I think the fans are really going to enjoy it. In the first one, where we were kind of experimenting with the format, it came down to the wire. We were down 2 to the Scorchers with a minute left, and there was a big point, and the fans were really into it. And so there's stakes involved, right? All these things all these elements that make great entertainment are involved, and it's different, and I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, you mentioned being I know you're excited for everything that's going on, but let's break it down a little bit more, but team-based now.
Okay.
So we're going from just the scoring and how it affected you to actually the teams and how you guys are actually going to play against each other.
Yep.
So first of all, who's the best player in the league?
Craig Johnson.
Craig Johnson's
Yeah.
the best player in the league. Good. Easy answer.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good teammate.
Yeah, he's the best player. There's no question.
Okay.
He's got the best drives. He's the best around the kitchen. He's the greatest teammate. He's also the best looking guy in the world. That helps.
I love it. All right, so then who's the best team?
Oh, Tornadoes are the best team. I've looked at the rosters. It's not even close.
So I'm going to burst your bubble
Oh,
here
the
for a
Scorchers
second.
are the best. Caden and Pesa. Okay.
I'm just going to say that we have one team that the Dupers add up to 22.07.
Oh, Duper's stupid. Do you want me to go into it?
I
won't
we're
go into
gonna.
it. Okay, I won't go
We're
into
gonna.
it. But go ahead.
You-
Duper is dumb. No, it's not. It's not
Tornado-
dumb, but it's not.
Duper.
It's not dumb. It's not dumb.
Where's the camera? Duper is dumb.
I can go into it, but it doesn't matter.
I can go into
Okay.
it for you too. We'll team up. and we'll
Duper's
go
not
after it.
dumb. There's a lot of really great benefits to it. There's a few things that are flawed with it that anyway, go ahead.
I agree. Okay. Your team is technically number 2, 0.05 of a Duper ahead of the Surprise Stingers, who you guys are playing on or next Tuesday. Okay. I am going to tell you now that this is because your girls are higher than their girls, but if we go into the men's match, you are the underdog.
I love it.
How does that make you feel?
Have you looked at the Duper scale on heart?
It's a different scale, but I have not.
Well, I've checked the heart of Nico Montoya, Cooper Frat on the men's side. It's not the same heart.
You and Craig destroy them in heart.
Much larger heart.
Much larger heart. Can we confirm this with the Orchard Security? Have you seen the heart scale?
Let me check with the headquarters 1 second. Yes. Okay. Yes.
So they are.
It is
They have
close, but they're a slight advantage.
Slight
on the
advantage on the
heart.
heart.
So,
Okay.
so like Duper, higher heart. Like you tell me, what do you want? Higher Duper or higher heart?
We are playing pickleball, correct?
Yes.
I might go with Duper on this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's the heart. I totally agree with you.
Okay, so then who? So you said you're the best team.
Yeah.
You don't care about anything else. Let's go about who might be the team that might be what we consider the worst or might be left out of the final playoff when you get into this, because there's 5 teams, right? There's going to be a semifinal, so that's 4 teams. Who might be the team that doesn't make it?
The Scottsdale Scorchers.
The Scottsdale Scorchers
Yeah.
might not make it.
There's a really good chance they don't make it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Do you think whose back does that fall on?
Peso Tioni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has to perform, otherwise they're done for.
Peso Tioni. What's that?
So Pesa has to perform, otherwise they have no chance.
Yes.
Did you feel the seat just got real hot? The seat just got real hot. Okay, I like it. Okay, so give me your prediction. Final score, week 1,
Oh, good question.
Tempe Tornadoes versus Surprise Stingers. Final score.
Hey, can you? Yeah.
So we go mixed doubles. I'm not quite sure exactly how they're going to pair up.
Yeah.
But who are you pairing up with? Are you pairing up with Cimarron or Dana?
Good question. We're going to keep that a little bit of a mystery.
Okay.
But I think the final score is going to be 57 to like 46. And there's going to be some close games, but we're going to pull away.
11-point spread.
Yeah, 57-46.
I kind of want to go back just a second on the Duper stuff and why is that dumb?
Yeah, that was a very aggressive take by me.
It's okay. I'm here
it's
for
funny.
it.
I was talking with.
I doubled down on it. So
Yeah,
this
I
is
was
good.
talking with Nico, and we're playing him first week, but we were at Lifetime Fitness this morning. We drilled drill with the enemy, so you know what they do. You guys understand. And we sat in the hot tub after at Lifetime, and speak with the enemy, so you know how they think.
Yep.
And
Test their heart.
very low heart.
Low heart. No heart for Nico.
Nico's the best. But we were just talking a little bit about Duper, and it's hard to. I don't completely understand. I don't think anybody fully understands everything that goes on in the algorithm. Now, there's a lot of public information about it. You can listen to Steve Kuhn talk a little bit about how the algorithm works. Algorithms are complicated. I do know one thing. Like I started playing pickleball, and my first tournament I think was in December of 2021, and I played. I think you and I both probably played the same tournament at the Red Rock. It was 4-0.
Yeah.
Played a bunch of tournaments at 4-0, a bunch of tournaments at 4-5. I have a lot of data in my thing that is super low from low matches playing, and I lost a ton, right? And so now I know there's like once you're a year out or a certain amount of matches in, that gives less weight, but basically I have a lot of data that has actually kept my Duper a little bit lower. And I think Nico went out and just crushed singles, and he's an amazing singles. He's also a really good doubles player, but he's an amazing singles player. He's up 6-something singles. His current doubles Duper is like 6-0 something, right?
I look at it as of this morning, it's a 602.
It's a 602, and like I played Nico 2 days ago, and he sped up on me 16 times, and I was 16 for 16 encounters. And so now, but in all honesty,
I know what you mean, though,
but Nico started playing pro. Like Michael Lloyd started playing pro because they switched over, super high level tennis players.
Yep.
And so they started playing against really high level Duper players. So they have significantly lower quantity of matches, but they're at much higher against higher Duper rated players, and they've done well in those matches. So mine is like steadily increasing. It's like 5. I think it's like 5-4-8. But there's another flaw in it, which is
5-3-3 today.
5-3. It was like 5-4-8 yesterday. So here's one of the flaws. If you play somebody that has collectively, so if me and you have a 5 Duper and our total is 10, and we're playing another doubles team that has an 11.01 or greater, there was a 1 point spread, right? Your Duper match does not count no matter what happens, unless you win and then you call in and you're like, hey, we had, right? So they do that for a number of reasons. I think I can't explain them all right now, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
I have a number of matches. I sent Duper an email recently. There's like 8 matches where I played top players. I'll give you an example. Played Sierra Gate and Leach and Colin Johns. And Colin is like a 6'8", and Sierra is like I think she's like 5'8" or like 6, something like that, whatever, right? Yeah. But their Duper's higher than me and Jennifer. We lost 11-8, 11-9. That doesn't contribute to my Duper. Me and Michael played Hayden Patriquin and Julian Arnold's. We lost 15-12. Doesn't contribute to the Duper. Me and Jennifer played Vivian David and Thomas Wilson, and we lost 15-11. We were up 11-6. It was a great match. We lost. Doesn't contribute to my Duper until my Duper comes within that one. So what am I saying with all this? I'm just saying I think across the board, Duper's pretty good. It's, it kind of knows where you're at, but someone that has anybody that's ascended through
it doesn't keep up with how fast you can ascend.
Right. So
I agree with you.
So my Duper in reality is Nico like 0.6 higher than me in doubles? Probably not. But currently, the way that we went about it, it's fine. But here's at the end of the day, I don't wake up in the morning and check my Duper. I do it at night. No, but the truth is, I don't check it every day. Here's what matters at the end.
I got a text from Kyle yesterday that said, "Oh my God, my Duper changed."
Yeah,
it was
I get another.
OMG was in capital letters.
Yeah, but the truth is, here's what matters, and me and Nico are talking about it because like you can really get caught up in that. What matters is their heart. No. What matters is results.
Yeah.
Right? Go out and beat, I would say to myself, go out and beat Julian and Hayden. That will impact it. Because if you win, you can call in and be like, it mattered, right?
Yeah.
Go out and beat Colin here. Go out and beat Thomas and Vivian. Last week, I played Ben Newell and De La Rosa. And I didn't check what the difference is. Me and Sam Weinbach played them. We lost 11-8 in the third. Last week, I played Tyler Loon and Etta Wright. Though their collective Duper is going to be way up here. We lost 13-11, 11-7. We had game points in the first. I'm going to guess that one didn't contribute to my Duper. But here's the thing: go win.
Yep.
And it will contribute to your Duper. And so, like, I'm not saying all this to be like, oh, my Duper's low. It's unfair. I'm actually saying, like, stop being a little baby, Kyle, and go win at the end of a match.
I get what you're saying. Now, let me ask you another question that can dive in even deeper. There's a doubles factor to Duper, and there's a singles factor to Duper.
Mine's like a 4.7 or 4.8. Did you look?
I did. It's 4.7 something in singles. Mine's higher than yours currently in
You're
singles.
better than singles.
We know that's not. Well,
you're pretty good at singles. You're such a sandbagger in singles.
I don't know. I'm way better in doubles.
The last singles match you played was against Nico, and you took him to 3. And like
it doesn't matter. So, but what I'm saying is that there's doubles and singles. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Duper would be better if there was men's doubles or gender doubles, mixed doubles, and singles? Because I think that you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I fully believe those are almost two different sports.
They're very different.
The way that you play mixed and the way that you play gender doubles are far. There's a big contrast.
Yeah, I think I actually haven't
like singles.
Put a ton of thought into that question, but just gut reaction. Yeah, it's much different.
Cool.
You could be and typically like I'll just give you an example. Like James Ignatowicz, I've spent a good amount of time with him, and we did some content stuff together. And he was explaining to me like 3 months ago, he's like, I'm the best at singles out of all my 3 events. I'm the best at singles. I'm the second best at mixed doubles, and I'm the third best at men's doubles. Because in mixed doubles, you don't have to. Oftentimes the guy doesn't dink as much, and the guy's just like, they're big and athletic. They can run around, and like the girl is typically dinking more.
Of course.
Right? Not all the time, but at the higher levels. And so, they'll dink, and the guy gets big and like gets athletic and tries to like spike it and do all this stuff. And so there's not as much patience required from the guy. In men's doubles, there is a lot of times, and the game is different. And so I think to answer your question, yeah.
Yeah, so I've always just been like, I'll tell you why I believe that. You want me to tell you why? I have a lot of losses in 4.0 mixed from about like 11, 12 months ago, 13 months ago.
Yeah.
And
and it's impacting your thing. Yeah.
Like I went 0-2 in 4.0 mixed.
Right.
In multiple tournaments.
Yeah. No, it's true.
That just like, and I was probably losing to like 3.7s. That is killing.
I think it's, I agree with you. And I think on singles for mine, I should, I think I might play a few more singles. It's just so aggressive on your body. Like if you're listening to the pod and you don't play singles and you go try, like I want to play singles. It's actually really fun. I try to play a little bit, but to keep up with my like fitness and play singles, it's just like you come off the court in so much pain.
Well, you need to train it.
You have to train it. Yeah, and not having.
He doesn't show up just on Tuesday night. He shows up every single
Monday
day,
night. Oh,
right?
Every single day. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you're not here just on Tuesday night pickleball night.
Tuesday night's just the fun night.
Yeah.
It's the 6 previous days that the hard work, the hours.
I know.
Training.
I'm with you. He gets it.
He gets it. I'm inspired. I might hire him. I might throw my security team away. We can talk price.
He might have to take down your entire door. You're gonna be scared when you see that door.
I am concerned about that door.
Yeah. No, it's a risk. It's a hazard.
And it puts the players at risk because they're playing at his house.
I had Caden over yesterday, and trust me, I did not open the door for Caden. He's like, "Can I get some water inside?"
You know who's happy to hear that? Cole's happy to hear that.
Oh yeah.
Because you made him open the door too.
Well, I said that, but I kind of helped him. He's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, Caden and I are enemies.
So then let's go a little bit further into Arizona Pickleball League as a whole.
Yeah.
Not just Tuesday night pickleball, one game at a time. Do you think that season 1 will be successful enough to create season 2 and maybe even have enough of a storyline to attract more fans?
100%.
Tell us. Explain. I need a little bit more.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking about this the other day. Yesterday, I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, I got a text from.
Was this before or after you checked your Duper?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. And so, so I got a text from Matt, our GM, and I believe the first one is nearly sold out. So today's March 7th, I think. So we got from the first. Can I confirm that? Is the first one sold out, standing room only tickets right now? Is that?
It's about halfway.
Okay. So it's about.
I'll check again.
Okay. So we're the tickets are being sold. So let me zoom out and just say. ArizonaPBL.com to get tickets, and it's gonna be super fun. Like these are high-level players playing pickleball with something on the line, right? And I think any good movie, there has to be something at stake for people to be invested.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be here. I think there's another thing, and Patrick has said it, and he said it in the first pod about this idea of a band going into a local bar or a smaller club and bringing their friends with them and playing. Like that's going to be something we haven't really seen yet outside of some things that Major League Pickleball is trying to do with minor league pickleball. But even then, it's not a localized thing. So
You're right.
So here's why I believe it's going to be successful. At the core is the team at Jigsaw Health is unbelievable. Like that's what you see where we're sitting right now. And it's an amazing facility. There's an incredible production and creative team. There's committed people to pickleball, and the players selected are really in on trying to make it great and like selling tickets and making it a great show and like working hard to play well so it is a good show. And so I'm going to do everything I can. I know our team is to continue to bring people and make it successful.
It's something I think that I've talked a few times about is that the people listening, our Arizona Pickleball family, as we say, the people listening, they need to understand that this is okay. So there's certain players that are, Ben Johns and Colin Johns, them. We have very quality pickleball players that you are in the top 1% of pickleball players. It's not like you're watching some rinky-dink pickleball players. You are watching a very high-level pickleball event. And I think that is something that our fan base is going to get to experience, but then also kind of like be proud of. You're going to have a local group that also you're going to see a lot of these fans at local tournaments, and they're going to see you. So you might actually get to take what you see here on the court with you to other tournaments.
For sure.
Which I think is something that will be fun, because then they'll get to be like, oh, I've seen him play. They're actually going to almost feel like they know you because you know all this kind of stuff that we're doing.
For sure. Yeah. I think there's no question about it. I don't have anything to add. You just kind of said it well.
Sorry, did I do okay?
It was well. Yeah. It was well done.
Have you cried yet? I think that was my first goal.
No, I haven't cried yet because you haven't taken me to an emotional place.
We're about to get there. So on the first podcast, I was asked who my least favorite player was. Immediately, you came to mind. I don't really know why you came to mind so fast. It might have been the text that you were sending me about Duper. But
every night, 7 p.m.
Yeah.
7:01. Sorry, yeah.
Do you have a least favorite person in associated with Arizona Pickleball League? And why is it me?
Well done. No. Okay. Why is it? Well, I'll tell you this, Danny. Let me just be honest, because I've talked behind your back multiple times on this topic, and I want to say it to your face. There is one thing that I've been annoyed with you. You have 99 great qualities, but this is not one of them. And it's this: when we play pickup rec, the length at which you want to debrief in between points in a rec game, it goes between 30 and 7 minutes. 30 seconds to 7 minutes. And so there's oftentimes where we're sitting there and Danny's talking about an unwind of a stack into an Ernie flow lob into a backhand counter point. And
this makes sense to you, right?
Right. Yeah. And I can just feel Craig Johnson on the other side, nicest guy in the world, just start to boil up and wonder, are we going to play pickleball or is Danny going to talk about the strategy every point?
It's a tactic.
And I say that not even lovingly, because it's just very annoying. And I never said that to your face.
There is also one other thing I do really bad.
Right.
I can't keep score.
Yeah, but that's fine, because who can? I mean, you know what I mean? You can't keep score.
You know what they say about pickleball players, and this is for everybody out there. You're either good at pickleball or you can keep score.
That's a great line. You're either good at pickleball and
or you can
really quick side note. I'm just going to plug this because keeping score in pickleball is so hard. It is so difficult that, so many people don't know the rules. They come on. The hardest part of pickleball in general is keeping the score of the game. So I just made a YouTube video. It hasn't come out yet, but I spent over 100 hours putting together a rules of the game video.
Okay.
And I think I've spent 50 of those hours just trying to identify how to articulate the difference between the third number, like the 1 and 2 on the serving side. It's so confusing.
And how it can change in the middle of the game.
That's the confusing thing. And I still don't understand how it works.
And nobody will figure that out.
Yeah, but maybe at Arizona, like Craig will probably tell me where to stand. And if I play with Cimarron or Dana, whichever one I play with, she'll tell me where to stand and where to be. I don't want to keep going off it, but I'm hoping that somebody else just keeps the score while we play.
I love it. Okay. OSG, can you maybe close us down today for the Arizona Pickleball League? And me and Kyle will sit here and let you talk to our...
Hey, really fast.
Yeah.
I just thought of one thing.
Please.
Sorry, OSG. Is it okay if I go one final thing?
Oh, is it okay?
Yes. Okay. You asked me this question earlier, and I actually bypassed it. You said, how, in my journey, how is APL a part of it?
Oh, let's go.
And let me just say really fast.
Absolutely.
Because let me say one thing that I learned playing from the first experimental event that I think is invaluable for a player like myself who's trying to play at the highest level right now.
Yeah.
It's playing in an environment like this. And you cannot play in an environment like this at the park where you're going to have 150 people watching you and there's stakes. There's something on the line and you're playing for something bigger than yourself. You can't do it at my backyard. Most of the time you can't even do it in a tournament because you're going to play on some far off court. Now, if you win, you get to center court. You get to experience that. But we're going to get a chance to play 4 times. And I mean 6 to get the championship, but we're going to get a chance to play in front of 150 people 6 times and experience that. I was so nervous before the first one.
Oh,
I was so freaking nervous.
More or less nervous than you ever were playing basketball, possibly?
Yeah, more nervous because it was different. I was, I'm not as, it's hard to compare. I can say it.
Do you want a quick hot take on nervousness really fast?
Go ahead.
I say that nervousness is when you are unprepared.
Okay, let me build on that. I heard a great thing on nervousness too. It was that, and if you feel nervous, you're either unprepared. That's number one, and or most of the time, and you care a lot. You want to do well.
That's fair.
And I think everyone's going to feel that, whether they say they're nervous, they're not nervous. We care because we don't want to we don't just want to win. In all honesty, like, I want to win. I'm a competitor, but what I care most about is actually putting out a great product for the people that are going to come watch, to inspire people to go play more.
Good point.
To inspire people to and shoot, and just make the league great. Like, the best entertainment is great pickleball. Right, and if we do that on a consistent basis, people will continue to come. Like, the worst thing that happen is they come and the Orchard and the whole team does so many amazing things here, and we like suck. You know? Well, that's like me talking to the fans and trying to make a joke is nice addition, but it's not the main thing. Like, the main thing's got to be great pickleball and high level play and competitiveness. And so, to sum all that up, it's one of the main reasons I'm excited. And I think as a part of my journey, this is so exciting to play in an environment like this. So when I am getting on center court more at tour events, or if I'm playing an MLP, or this becomes something so massive, we're playing it in the Phoenix Suns Footprint Center, that I'm like ready for that, because you become more confident in that moment by doing that thing more.
Absolutely.
And so I was nervous because I hadn't been in front of a crowd playing pickleball like more than 2 times.
Yeah.
I played at Ohio State in their arena when I was in college. That's a massive facility. But I played at FSU. I played at Kansas in a sold-out arena. But like, I've been playing basketball my whole life. You
felt prepared.
I felt prepared, and so I'm going to become more confident because I care, and I'm going to be nervous but I'm not going to be nervous because I'm unprepared. I'm prepared.
I know.
Yeah. Nobody here works harder than Craig Johnson and me, and Cimarron and Dana.
There you go.
Amen.
Okay.
OSG.
All right. Well, actually, I appreciate you kind of going on that little riff there. That's good.
I'm fired up right now.
I know.
Is anybody listening? Where are we right now? I'm still pumped. I want to play right now.
No,
we're going to get on the court in a second. I'm fired up. I love pickleball.
Good. I know. I wish I was playing. That's all right.
Well, we don't want that.
No, we definitely don't want that.
You'd be talking in between points.
We definitely don't want that.
We've sold 62 tickets out of 128.
Okay, so you're getting there. It's going up.
62 out of 128 tickets sold as of right now.
As of this current second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is great.
Yeah. If we get a different podcast host, we'll sell way more tickets than me.
I think that you'd probably be at like six. You'd be at 6. You wouldn't have any if it wasn't for me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, thank you very much to the Arizona Pickleball family for listening today. Kyle, thank you for joining us. OSG, please break it down for us.
Okay, pickleballers. Remember, when you're serving, say the score nice and loud so all the teammates can hear the score. But again, not too loud, because that's really distracting to the other courts. Unless, of course, it's 10-1. Make that serve as deep as you can, close to the baseline. And remember, the line is in. Return that third shot. Drive it. Let your partner hustle up to the kitchen line and take that 5th shot. We call that shake and bake. Until the next episode.